So I'm with Taylor, and Taylor's our habitat specialist here at Dismal River. Give everybody a little bit of the details of your life in the last few years with Pheasants Forever and why we brought you here is so special because of your knowledge and expertise really with pheasant habitat. So can you tell me a little bit more about that, Taylor?
Yeah, so actually I grew up in the area. I grew up on a ranch just like 10 miles west of here as the crow flies.
Cool.
And then went down to college for wildlife biology. Ended up landing a job as a biologist with Pheasants Forever.
Nice.
I worked for them for 3 years, and then Joel and John reached out to me, asked me if I'd want to come back home and work on some pheasant habitat right here in the Sandhills of Nebraska. So we did it.
That's
so
awesome.
Here I am.
That's so great. So hey, we're standing here and we're overlooking really parts of the golf course, as you guys know, but this country's so vast that we've got, Taylor, you've put in other food plots and brooding areas for pheasants really on the outskirts, correct?
More on the inside of where, there's these big open areas inside the fairways where the course makes that big loop around.
Nice.
And they're going to be areas that are going to be easy for us to manage. And also they're areas where I think I can get stuff to grow for the pheasants to do really well.
What areas are we looking at here?
So way down there in the bottom is going to be what we're going to call the Nicholas Flats area.
Cool.
So it spans between kind of 12 and 14 fairways. And what we're going to do starting next spring is one of the areas that I plan on burning off. It has been managed for over 10 years, ever since the golf course opened. So try to knock back some of the Kentucky bluegrass, some of the sod-forming grasses that really hold back our natural habitat.
Nice. Well, this is exciting. We're going to take you guys on a little journey today. Taylor's going to host us, and we're going to look at these different habitat conservation areas that we're working on with Pheasants Forever. And it's going to be exciting. I think we'll get the dogs out and see what we can do. We've got some incredible dogs here at Dismal. And, obviously we pheasant hunt a lot. Tell us a little bit about maybe this dog and really our dog program and what we do with the labs and the pointers here.
Okay. So yeah, this is Tough. He's a 4-year-old pointing lab. I just picked him up from a local kennel in the state over at Erickson, Nebraska. And he was trained for the type of hunting that we're doing with the bigger groups. And he's got a rock solid point, and he's a super aggressive retriever. So he should be a lot of fun to hunt behind.
Well, this will be really, really great. And we're going to hunt with him today, yeah?
Yeah, yep, we're going to hunt with him. Get him on some more birds, let you guys see him. And
that'd be great.
Have a good time.
What makes a pheasant, a young chick, thrive?
So those young chicks, 100% of their diet and 90% of where they get their water from comes from soft-bodied insects. And so when we walked out there, you saw those bugs on those flowers. Broadleaf plants, flowering plants is what attracts all of those insects that those chicks really need to eat and survive.
What's been really interesting for me to see firsthand, we kind of, in Taylor's experiences, we've talked about it, but to see firsthand how our conservation program with managing, better pheasant habitat, it just increases the entire ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it already start to positively affect the white-tailed deer up and down the river, the turkey. You see, the insect life that takes place when we have better vegetation, and then it's just full circle for all of our wildlife here when we start increasing habitat.
Yeah, it's all connected, and what's good for one thing's good for everything.
That's right.
All right, guys, so I'll tell you what's really cool is at Dismal River, we've put in what we call the Young Guns plot. And as you can see, I mean, Taylor, this is some pretty good stuff.
Yeah, this is awesome, yeah.
And so we've got a mentoring program where we're gonna start helping young Nebraska youth start to understand habitat conservation and really understand hunting ethics and everything that goes into helping these pheasants thrive. John, can you give us a little insight into that and really our mission with helping the youth of Nebraska understand hunting and conservation?
Yep. Well, it's part of an extremely big project that we have going on here at Dismal River Club, one that we're partnered with Pheasants Forever on. Obviously, what we're doing is we're increasing habitat on all of our properties here in conjunction with cattle grazing and farming, like most landowners in Nebraska have. We're saying, hey, we can grow and raise pheasant habitat, we can increase bird population, wild bird population. So we've got a lot of that going on here as well that we're super excited about. But it's not just conservation of habitat and wild birds, it's conservation of our hunting opportunities and rights, right? And that starts at the youth level. And so at the forefront of all of these projects is how can we get more youth out here? And so one of the things that we're doing is we're designating and setting aside certain areas on property just for youth, not paid hunts, completely free, to introduce new hunters to bird hunting, right? We think that's a great way to conserve our hunting heritage for the future, is get our youth out here involved.
I love it. I can't believe that people are going to come walk through this valley like this. They're not going to believe it. But why is this so special in comparison to other areas, in your opinion?
We've got all these cattails here in this low-lying area. Will be awesome winter cover. No matter how much snow we get, how cold it is, birds will be able to bury in there, stay warm, stay alive all winter long. And then those are the birds that we really need to help to sustain our population to be able to, produce babies next spring.
All right, so here we are, 5 weeks later, prime time pheasant hunting, and we're getting ready to go. And Taylor, tell us a little bit about this experience, where we're going down on the Dismal River.
So yeah, we're gonna be hunting down on what I like to call Lower Doak today, and we're gonna start kind of up here high, and then we're just gonna keep working our way lower and lower and lower down until we're right on top of the river, basically.
Oh man, that sounds awesome. So hey, we're super excited about it. And the other cool thing that we're doing is, so Joel and I are on this expedition to accomplish our Nebraska Slam, the Nebraska Upland Slam. So if we get a pheasant today, which hopefully we shoot well, that will be kind of the first edition for our Nebraska Slam. And that's something that the state of Nebraska does. And if you complete it, which is getting your pheasant, your quail, your prairie chicken, and your grouse, you'll get a certificate. So we're really excited about it. We're hosting it right here at Dismal River, and we're gonna start it up today, baby. Let's do it.
Our very own Buffalo Billy's first pheasant hunt, everybody. It's gonna be a big day for Billy.
This is my Dismal Life.
And you're watching Dismal River TV.